My friends, this is Dr. B, the best doctor in medicine. Today, Dr. B wants to talk to you about the lies regarding weight loss, fat loss, and creatine, right? Go online and look at all these supplements of creatine that are supposed to make you lose weight, right? Make sure you click on the link below and keep your credit card ready and buy me this creatine for $50, $40, $30. Make sure you buy one bottle every week, and if you eat that creatine, you're gonna lose weight, you're gonna lose all your fat, right? Guys, it's all lies. It is all BS. Guys, I'm a medical doctor, right? I'm an expert in biochemistry. I know chemistry, biochemistry, like the back of my hand. The same way I know anatomy, physiology, medicine, surgery, like the back of my hand. I will never lie to you. I'm not here, guys, to give you a lecture about medicine, biochemistry, and the chemistry and the biochemistry of creatine and the creatine shuttle and the creatinine and blah, 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 right? I am just telling you that creatine as a weight loss supplement is just BS. It's just not gonna happen. You will just waste your money, make all these scammers richer, right? And eventually you will realize, after you have spent hundreds and thousands of dollars on this freaking creatine, that it doesn't do any katsu to you, right? For your information, creatine is produced naturally by your liver. Your liver, right? Your liver produces creatine. Your liver, this organ located on the top right side of your abdominal cavity, right, produces all the freaking creatine, that your body needs. Every ounce of creatine that your body needs, whether you're an athlete or not an athlete, or a sedentary or a couch potato, whatever your body needs as amount of creatine, your liver produces it. So if you have a healthy liver, your liver will produce all the creatine that you need. The same way that if you have a healthy thyroid gland, all the T3 and T4 thyroid hormones that your body needs, your thyroid gland is going to give it to you. You don't need to take extra thyroid hormones in order to get any more benefits. To the contrary, right? Taking extra thyroid hormone is gonna be harmful to you. There is no point in taking extra of many of these biological compounds that are produced naturally by your body, right? Your adrenal gland produces all the aldosterone and also all the cortisol that you need. You don't need to take extra cortisol and extra aldosterone, right, in order to help your body. To the contrary, you're gonna be harming yourself. So remember that more is not always equivalent to better, right? It's not because you're gonna get more of a certain vitamin that you're gonna get better benefits, right? Now there's exceptions for some vitamins, especially vitamin D, in which science has proven that taking more of the regular 1,000 or 2,000 IUs, international units per day, is beneficial, right? I posted a video about that. But that's just a few exceptional cases, right? Let me give you the example of niacin. Niacin, right? The vitamin B3. Niacin, if you take more than 16 milligrams per day as a man, or 14 milligrams per day as a woman, I'm not talking about the pregnant woman, the regular woman, not more than 14, men, not more than 16 milligrams per day. If you take more niacin than that, you're going to harm yourself. You're going to cause inflammation of your blood vessel. You're going to be at higher risk of heart attack and strokes, right? And it's a vitamin. So it doesn't mean that because it's a vitamin, I can take more of that, right? So it's the same for creatine. All the creatine that you need, right, in order for your body to be able to use ATP, right, adenosine triphosphate. Again, I don't want to go into the biochemistry and stuff. This is not the point. You know that we have a high energy compound called ATP, right? It's the energy that our cells burn, right? If I want to exercise and run and blah, 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 my cells are going to produce ATP, right? ATP is produced in the mitochondria. It has to get out of the mitochondria, blah, blah, blah. And in that regard, creatine, the creatine shuttle, allows ATP to come out, the energy produced inside the tiny little mitochondria, to come out of the mitochondria so that your muscles can burn it, right? Anyways, let's not go into the details of biochem and blah, blah, blah. It's not the point, right? Remember, my channel is not for medical doctors, medical students. My channel is for the average Joe, you. My channel is for the average Jane, you, who have no clue about medicine, biochemistry, medical sciences, chemistry, physiology, anatomy. And I say that respectfully, right? Not with disrespect. I want to teach you in simple ways how to stay healthy, how to age gracefully, how to stay away of cardiovascular diseases and cancer, blah, 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 so that me and you can age gracefully. And this lie about creatine, that if you buy these supplements, powders, pills, blah, 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 is going to make you lose weight. It is just, believe me, trust me. I took the Hippocratic oath to never lie to people, to never put my interest above the interest of people. And as you can see, there's no link below when I'm going to sell you any fake stuff, right? I'm not going to tell you, go buy this creatine. Make sure you keep your credit card ready. It's going to cost you $40. Make sure you buy one every week, right? For the next 10 years so that I can become a millionaire, right? I'm not that, guys. I'm an honest, really honest, caring doctor, medical doctor, master in public health, right? I'm not a quack, guys. Do not waste your time. Do not even waste your time buying creatine and eating those stupid powders or supplements of creatine. Listen, there is only two hormones. Two major, there are some smaller ones, but the two major hormones that make your fat being built up or decrease. You're going to burn fat or you're going to increase your fat. You increase your fat by insulin, this hormone insulin, right? It makes you build up fat. You become fat. Love handles, right? Big belly, full of fat. Your butt, full of fat. Your hips, full of fat. What makes your fat cells, what we call in medicine adipocytes, what makes them build fat, right? It is this hormone called insulin, right? What makes your fat cells, the cells that contain these fat droplets, lose weight, lose fat, burn fat? It is the catecholamine. Have you heard about adrenaline and noradrenaline? Adrenaline, right? The fight or flight hormone that is produced by your adrenal glands, right? When you're stressed out, you want to fight or you want to flight, you're going to want to run away, right? Your adrenal glands produce a huge amount of adrenaline, right? And your nervous system, the part of your nervous system called the sympathetic nervous system, produces high level of noradrenaline. So these two hormones, adrenaline and noradrenaline that we put together in a little bag, and we call them catecholamines. They burn fat, right? They go in your fat cells and they make your fat cells burn fat, right? So that the fat from your fat cells can go to your muscles, right? So that when you're running, you're exercising, you're sweating, you're walking, you're lifting weight, right? Your sympathetic nervous system goes into overdrive. Your heartbeat increases. Did you notice? Your breathing increases in frequency. Did you notice? Right? You are sweating. Did you notice? This is the sympathetic nervous system, right? The fight or flight reaction, right? So that those two hormones, adrenaline and noradrenaline, are discharged in huge amount, right? And they make you burn fat. The fat goes into your blood, right? I don't want to go into the details, right? And from there, they go into your muscles, so that your muscles can burn fat and burn it, and then you become hot and you have all this energy, right? So there is no other miracle, guys. If you want to stop building fat, you need to do what? You need to cut back insulin to the lowest level, because insulin is the number one by far, number one hormone that makes you build fat. There are some others, tiny one, like ghrelin, right? Ghrelin. But let's not go into the details. 99% of the way you build fat is via your insulin. Insulin, as you know very well, is produced by your pancreas, this organ here in your tummy, in the back of your tummy, just behind your stomach. When you eat sugar, whether it's plain sugar like in a Coca-Cola or in your coffee, or when you eat bread, pasta, lasagna, pizza, rice, right? Any katsu that has sugar, right? Whether it's simple sugar like table sugar you put in your tea or coffee, or complex sugar, eventually it's becoming glucose. Glucose goes into your blood, right? Gets absorbed in your intestine. Or fruits, right? When you eat an apple, it has a lot of sugar. When you eat honey, there's a lot of sugar, right? All this glucose get absorbed through your intestine, goes into your blood, and of course, it reaches what? It reaches your liver, then fat is stored in your liver. It can also be burned in the muscle if you exercise, but most of you don't. And also it's going to go into your adipocytes, right? And become fat. It becomes freaking fat. So you have to decrease your insulin. You have to decrease your insulin like Dr. B to the minimum necessary to live, right? We need insulin to survive. You would die if you have absolutely zero insulin in your blood, right? You would go into ketoacidosis, into a coma, and you die. But my insulin level is at the level, the minimum required for my body to not go into ketoacidosis, severe ketoacidosis. Right? I'm on the keto diet, right? But I'm not in ketoacidosis, right? So I maintain my insulin at the tiny level. Means I cut the freaking sugar, right? So you cut the freaking sugar in your diet, like me, I'm on the keto diet. So my insulin is at the tiny level in my blood, right? So I'm basically not building any fat, because my insulin is so tiny amount that my fat cells cannot be building fat, because there's not enough insulin for that. Even if at the same time that there's not enough insulin, there's no sugar. In my blood, there's tiny amount of sugar, just enough for my brain to use it. Because brain needs sugar, right? Needs glucose, right? So then I'm not building fat, right? Because I have no insulin, no sugar. I mean, when I say no, I mean tiny bit, right? At the same time, I'm exercising every freaking day, 2 hours. I go to the gym after work, right? And at work, I'm active, I'm walking, I'm bringing patients in, I'm standing when I check them, I talk to them. Many times I sit, but you get my point. I'm active, right? Even at work, I'm not just always behind the freaking computer desk, right? Or the ultrasound system, right? I'm busy, right? So my brain is busy, my muscles are busy. I come from work, I go 2 hours at the gym. So my adrenaline, my noradrenaline, my sympathetic nervous system, this fight or flight reaction is on overdrive. So I burn the tiny bit of fat each time that I have, right? So basically I have no fat left, right? Because my insulin is really tiny amount in my blood, right? There's no sugar in my freaking blood except the minimum required for my brain, right? Because brain needs sugar, right? Brain cannot burn all the other things that the muscle can burn, right? Brain needs glucose. You need glucose for your brain, right? So what happens is that, so I have tiny amount of sugar in my blood, glucose, right? Tiny insulin, so I'm not building fat. And at the same time, I go 2 hours at the gym to build up, to stimulate a huge amount of overdrive, my fight or flight reaction, sympathetic nervous system. So I'm sweating because I do my cardio, then I lift weight. My heartbeat is fast, right? I'm pumping iron strong, right, to build my muscles, blah, blah, blah. So I'm burning. So this adrenaline and noradrenaline, they go to my fat cells, the few ones that I have that have any fat in them, and all the fat is freaking burned, right? So my tummy is flat like a baby, right? No, I shouldn't say like a baby. Babies are actually fat. My tummy is flat like I was 12 years old. I don't have no visceral fat, right? Like I was 12 years old. I can see my muscle fibers under my skin when I look at myself in the mirror, right? I mean, it is so fantastic. I have 0 love handles. My butt is all muscle, cute little butt. My ex-girlfriend used to love my butt, right? She used to say, you have the butt of a baby. My butt is 100% muscle, right? It's nice, it's beautiful because I have no fat. And I do, of course, back extensions, right, every day. I posted a video about the benefits of back extension to have a beautiful butt, right? My ass is beautiful, sexy. My girlfriend used to love my butt. I don't understand. But I thought she would love my genitalia, but she didn't care at all about my genitalia. It didn't impress her. I don't know. She was, oh, who cares? Most women are actually like that. They don't care about genitalia, right? They have seen millions of them. But my butt, she was so attracted to my butt, always slapping my butt, kissing my butt. You're so beautiful, like a little baby butt. Guys, you need to listen to Dr. B. There is only two hormones that are the major players in building your fat and burning your fat. Building your fat, insulin. You need to lower your insulin by zipping your mouth and no sugar at all. So that's why I'm on the keto diet and it works miracles. I don't eat any sugar, no pasta, no rice, no bread, no freaking stuff, right? No sugar, no honey, nothing, no fruits, nothing. Everything is full of freaking sugar. Now it was good when you're young, but at my age, I'm 50 years old, right? Enough of all that, right? In addition to lowering my insulin and no sugar in my diet, I increase my adrenaline, my noradrenaline, 2 hours a day when I go to the gym. Creatine is not going to do no cazzo. Do not fall for these scammers. I call them healthcare scammers. They are quacks. Not only that, they have absolutely no scientifically proven evidence to support their claim. Have you noticed each time they sell you these garbage supplements, whether it's creatine and this and that if you take this, you're going to lose weight. If you do this, you're going to have a stronger erection. If you do that, your boobs are going to grow bigger and better. If you put this cream on your face, you're going to lose all your wrinkles. Have you noticed they put always at the bottom, the current statements by the seller have not been approved or backed by the FDA. Have you noticed they always put that so that they can be legal? So they can sell you garbage and they can scam you, healthcare scammers, right? With no scientific evidence to back their claim, right? There is absolutely not even one scientific peer-reviewed, statistically accurate, peer-reviewed study that proves that creatine can make you lose even 1 ounce of fat. Absolutely none, right? But they're going to sell it to you, and they're going to put that disclaimer so that you cannot sue them. They're going to say, oh, but look, I put the disclaimer. Just make sure that you give me the money, right? Because the problem in America is that false advertisement, quackery, is not illegal. As long as you put that little statement saying that, the FDA has not agreed or has not approved this creatine as a weight loss supplement, right? The guy is legal. In the meantime, he's ripping off millions of people so that he can buy himself mansions and Ferraris and Lamborghinis. I don't know how much these quacks make. I don't know. I don't care. But they come up with these beautiful videos. It's crazy. And these are doctors and dentists and chiropractors and nutritionists. You would think, how does a chiropractor, a nutritionist, a freaking dentist or most medical doctor understand anything about biochemistry and the chemistry of creatine? They don't. But they come up with these Hollywood-made videos. I don't know how they do these videos, right? They are extremely impressive. They put music and pictures and made-up pictures. It's so freaking made up, right? They will show a woman who is fat, and then they will put beside her the same woman. The picture looks the same, but I'm sure it's faked, right? I don't know, with artificial intelligence. I don't know how these people make this. And then they show the same woman with a body in a bikini suit, right? She was 300 pounds before, and now she looks like 120 pounds, like she was 12 years old. I have no clue how these quacks make these Hollywood videos that you see everywhere, not just on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, blah, blah, blah. I'm not too much on the social media, but when I go watch the news, I go on YouTube, this and that, and I see their advertisement. It is crazy the way these people, I don't know, they must be hiring some Hollywood people. How can a chiropractor, dentist, doctor not even have the time, but be able to do this kind of crazy with sound effects and special effects? I have absolutely no skill doing this kind of videos. I'm not interested in learning. I don't want to do it. All I want is to be face to face in front of you, right? And be honest to you, guys, so that you don't get scammed, so that you understand that losing weight, losing fat requires for you to decrease your insulin. And the only way to do that is to cut back the sugar, because the more sugar you're going to eat, the more you're going to stimulate your pancreas to produce insulin. And insulin is going to build fat. There's no secret. Everybody knows that. Anyone who knows anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, histology, like Dr. B, like the back of my hand, understands that, right? And the other way, so you have to do both, right? You decrease your insulin and you have to increase your adrenaline and noradrenaline. Means your sympathetic nervous system. Means you need to have at least 1 hour or 2 hours where you're sweating, your heartbeat goes up, you're pushing weight, lifting weight, biking, hiking. You need to freaking do that, right? Now, walking simply half an hour would be okay if you're older and you're not eating too much, right? Remember, the best exercise is walking, right? And I tell my sister, you need to walk at least half an hour every day. But the problem is that she's not walking enough for the amount of food that she eats. So even though she's walking 45 minutes per day, she eats so much that she gains so much fat between all those times that she doesn't walk, that the 45 minutes of walking is just not enough for enough adrenaline and noradrenaline to burn her fat, right? So it depends also how much you are eating. If you are eating a lot like my sister and enjoying food, enjoying life 5 or 6, 7, 10 times per day, right? Stuffing their mouth. So you need to obviously exercise way more than walking just half an hour or 45. Otherwise, it's not going to do any katso, right? You're not going to burn enough of your fat to go into your muscles. You need to exercise those muscles so that the adrenaline goes up into your blood. You see your heartbeat going up. You're sweating. You are hot. You know, like when you do your cardio at the gym, or you're running, biking, hiking, swimming, exercising, doing push-ups, right? Otherwise, it's just not going to be nothing. It's going to be pie in the sky. It's going to be just BS, and you're going to be just happy that you exercised a little bit, but your belly not going to go down, and your butt not going to shrink, and your hips are going to be the same. And you know, it's basic, simple, common sense, guy. Lower your insulin by cutting the sugar that you take. Me, I do that with the keto diet. It is the best, in my opinion, and it's perfect for me at least. Try that. Try the keto. Try the carnivore, but zip it after a certain age. Stop eating all this sugary stuff. It is crazy. And remember, hidden sugar is everywhere. Bread, pasta, rice, hamburger, blah, blah, blah. Everywhere. Freaking sugar is everywhere. And fruits, of course. Fruits and vegetables, even the fruits that have a low glycemic index, even those that give you a spike of insulin and long-term insulin in your blood, even though the spike in your blood is lower than the fruits that have a high glycemic index. That's why I replaced my fruits a few years ago by nuts, by tomato paste, by olive oil, by tea, by green tea, by coffee, blah, blah, blah. And of course by olive oil and walnut oils and all these things, right? There's millions of ways, guys, to get your vitamins, minerals, fibers, blah, 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 than fruits and vegetables, right? Obviously, when you're young, enjoy it. Are you young, 20, 30? Okay, enjoy it. But if you're 40 and above and you're starting to have a belly, you need to stop enjoying all this enjoyable stuff, right? And you need to do like Dr. B. So decrease your insulin and increase your adrenaline and noradrenaline, right? Decreasing insulin, you stop building fat. Increasing adrenaline, noradrenaline, you start burning fat. I don't know any other way. Any other ways is quackery. Anybody else who tells you anything else is a liar, is garbage, is a quack, right? And I'm surprised some of them are supposedly, I don't know, they say they're doctors. What kind of doctors they are? But I know some, they claim they are chiropractic doctor, dentist, dietitian. Imagine that a dietitian studied only 6 months to get their certificate in dietitian. 6 months. What does a dietitian know about biochemistry? Show me any dietitian, even 30 years of experience. I'm going to knock her up with my knowledge in biochemistry. I'm going to ask her a simple question about biochemistry, say how she can answer that question. They don't know no cazzo about biochemistry, right? It takes time to accumulate this massive knowledge in every field of medical science and health science that Dr. B has. So trust me, listen to me, follow my guidance. Guys, I love you regardless of your gender identity, politics, race, color of your skin. I don't give a cazzo. Whether you're a male, female, anything between, whether you're Republican, Democrat, agnostic, believer, non-believer, religious, no religion. I don't give a cazzo because I'm a medical doctor. I took the Hippocratic oath to love you and to put you above my own interests. I love you. I hope to talk to you in the next video. Put your comments. Put your question, anything, the cazzo you want to ask, put it down there. I will get back to you. It might take some time. I'm so busy at work and I love it. I work 8 to 10 hours a day. It gives me the energy, the love of medicine. My patients love me. I love them back. And that's it. I'll talk to you next video. Bye-bye.